Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning here in a rainy North Carolina, and I am running on actual caffeinated coffee because I was too lazy to grind my decaf beans. So I am ready to go. Caffeine in my system is a rarity on a Saturday. We've got my mage here, my Runemaster, and I'm looking at the game guide, which you can access in last Epoch by pressing the G button. And I don't use this enough. There's all kinds of good information in here. This is one of the best built-in tutorial systems that I can recollect seeing in a game in a while. So hats off, nice job. I've been getting some good items running the Monolith, and I'm wrecking house in the Monolith pretty much at this point. I don't foresee much in there going to be able to stop me, but we'll see. As long as I pay attention, I can pretty much sustain a win without any deaths and get rewards accordingly. So far, nothing really spectacular, but I have run enough times to get some pretty decent exalted items, the purple items, and here you can see the breakdown of the rarities in the game, and it shows you quite clearly like magic items that are blue, and they have 1 or 2 affixes. Rares are the yellows, 3 or 4 affixes. Uniques, oranges. We found quite a few of those in the playthrough so far. A lot of them not usable by my classes, unfortunately. But I'll have an Uber Necro ready to roll out in multiplayer if I ever want to make one. Set items, those are pretty rare. I've only got a handful of set items, maybe 3, I think. And only 2 go together. Exalted purples I'm now finding for the first time by running the Monolith. And you can see I've got a few on right now. I found this really nice wand, which took a lot to actually make me take away this crafted rare that I had for a staff, because it's got a pretty substantial bonus to lightning damage, and the freeze rate multiplier is huge. If we check the stats on that, I mean, 268 is almost top tier for a tier 3. The 160 is a tier 5, and it's on the higher end of the middle range there for the 128% to 192%. So 160 is nothing to sneeze at. But this has a 515% freeze rate multiplier built in, 112% increased spell critical strike chance, and increased casting speed, which is handy. Now, one of the things I'm noticing though is what I will be working on probably any characters that I make in this game going forward is going to be cooldowns. I find myself a lot of times just waiting on stuff to pop off what I want to fire because of cooldown. So I would recommend you pay attention to anything that can reduce your cooldown timer. You're gonna probably love it. Now this chest piece has a wasted slot for flame rush, but everything else is solid. Really good armor rating on it. It's got critical strike avoidance. It's got really good resistance to void and fire, and a good intelligence buff. But I picked this up, which is just a cool looking Osprey skull. 77% increase elemental damage. Also can slow attackers. It has another freeze rate multiplier built in, 9 intelligence, and additional spell critical strike chance. So obviously I'm trying to get off more crit hits with my spell usage. And then I got this little doozy here, 111% increased spell critical strike chance again on this relic. Increased casting speed again, mana, but plus 7% to all resistances while channeling. Like, what? So that's like obviously very, very nice item. And then this ring, Pyromancer's copper ring of insulation, 38% increased dot, 35% increased critical strike chance, basic critical strike chance. I think that applies to everything, but I'm not 100% on that. We should probably find out for sure on some forums. 10% void resistance and 9% elemental resistance across the board. So my resistances are solid enough. They're not as high as they once were, but some things are really high now. Poison resist maxed for the first time. Physical resist 62%. And these will all go up whenever I'm channeling. because of this item. So they're pretty much all close to max a lot of the time. So, nice. Oh, and this crazy amulet that I still have. It almost got eclipsed by a purple that I found, but I got lucky enough with the upgrades to this and the forge that this is still top dog for what I'm using. Also, I keep finding better and more interesting idols. I just need more slots. Some idols that I've got, I just don't know whether or not they're really worth it. I got one that's unique, and I'm convinced it isn't even worth using. I don't know. Probably because of my particular build. It might be something that if I locked in a certain type of spell effect that I just spammed over and over, it might be usable. But you'll run into stuff like that in the game, which is, of course, the game is pretty complex. Don't let anybody fool you. This is way beyond Diablo 4 in complexity. Yeah, Diablo 4 is not even close to as interesting. That's why I'm playing and enjoying this game. Sometimes I actually feel overpowered, to be honest. But, hey, that's part of the game, right? That's part of the fantasy. So, right now, I think we're going to actually go and do some campaign stuff for a minute. And then we'll probably return to the Monolith, just because the Monolith is fun. This is going to be, I'm not sure how long this stream will be. An hour or two. I have every plan to play Elden Ring later, and then there's a high possibility tonight, believe it or not, of some Dungeons and Dragons character creation, and I doubt there'll be any play, but it will be interesting because if we can get everybody together, it'll actually be 3 members plus myself of my old 80s Dungeons and Dragons group together for the first time in like 40 years, which is crazy. So, yeah, looking forward to that, and we're going to definitely be gaming with these guys down the road. And so it'll be like Stranger Things come to life or something. I can't even believe it. So, enough of me rambling. Let's get to the gaming. Let's see, where do we want to go here? Here. How do I get to this? I've got 2 different ways. You go through the burning forest or the solemn path. Well, we'll go here, I guess. Doesn't matter. Curious to see what rolls out with the campaign. Oop. Okay, network's still a little sketchy. Rubber bandy once in a while. Wasn't bad. I wonder if the game is going to scale up at all. I don't think it will, probably, in the campaign. So I don't expect much in the way of mobs able to handle me now, because I'm almost level 60. I barely scratched the surface of potential power. And that's it. The first cast has always lagged. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. I think it's network. I bet it's online. Something to do with online. Where it's syncing me up. Leave no gold behind. I did manage to get another tab on my stash, so happy days. Yeah, I'm too much now for the campaign. Ooh-wee. Is that a shattering room? Yes, it is. Thank you. It's actually a tier 5 on that. increased cooldown recovery. That's what I was just talking about. Anytime I see something like that in a tier 4 or 5, I'm gonna grab it. I'm just gotta being lazy with the mage right now. Why not? Wait, did something survive back there? I mean, if these things were smart, they'd be running away. Receive the blessing of Heorot.
Gods be with you.
Terra, our dormant mother, deliver us away from this tragedy. Breathe new life into our world and awaken and save us. We have failed you. Your gift has broken throughout your slumber. We beg forgiveness. Please save it as you have saved us. Terra. Terra. The druids.
Stay safe.
The druids are out. Look at them all. Here's our boy.
I spoke to Heorot. He wanted you to be here while he blessed. I spoke to Heorot. He wanted you to be here while he blessed the lance.
All right. Let's talk to him.
I see you have returned with the lance.
Yeah, what kind of shenanigans are you going to get up to?
My final blessing.
What kind of blessing? A drop of each of our blood will ignite the power inside. For now my blood is in the lance. Take it and use it well. Okay.
Farewell. Even the gods cannot observe what fate intends for us. Do not let it bind you. Farewell.
Well, that's kind of pretty, huh?
We have Heorot's blessing. And now he's gone.
But is he really?
We must move on. There are other matters. Other gods we must tend to. Our only chance to defeat Rye is if we gather their blessings. You're right. We will. We'll travel west towards the sea. Lagon is there, the god of sea and storms.
What do you know about Lagon?
From what little Heorot's told me, Lagon's as likely to welcome us as he is to drown us. But we should get to the coast. There's a settlement south, Deep Harbor. It has underground rivers that might take us there.
Okay, so now a water god to deal with.
Heorot raised me. My kin died when I was young. The Eoborian law dictates I fend for myself. Strong survive and the weak die. And I was weak. Death stalked me. Yet Heorot was always there when I needed him. Made sure I survived long enough to become strong.
And now you're stronger.
I owe him everything. He made me who I am. Forgive me. Let's end our conversation there.
Okay, a little experience. Travel to Deep Harbor. Okay. No, I see. So we got to go back to Borea. What's this? That's completed. All right. Back we go. So it looks like we're... Oh, I've got some items here. always checking for lower tier stuff now to just kind of get rid of, replace, like this, for instance.
Yes.
I think I'm satisfied with my one-hander and offhand, so we're going to just stash this very powerful staff that I was running around with. Maybe we'll break one of these down. Cool. That'll work. How many of those do I have left? None, as usual. Shatterings, man, those things are rare.
I see.
I think this is where we want to go, right? Yeah, Northern Stream. We might see some new mobs in this area. Actually, let me check my... Oh, I do have an unspent point here. I get a bonus now. You have more critical strike multiplier against bosses and rare enemies based on your current ward up to 20%. More crit multi per 100 ward. I mean, nothing's gonna hold up against me after I've been in that Monolith. The campaign is toast. I mean, it's almost unfair. Tier 5. Increase spell critical strike chance. It's the kind of stuff I look for now. To peel the shatterings. I think somebody was confused. Some other streamer came in the other day, and I don't know if he was asking me if I was finding it difficult to cast invocations, which I don't have as much control over what shows up yet because I'm not really trying to have control over them. But it is a little difficulty, and a little difficult in that it's tricky to find the right stuff to use yet without more, practice based on what I'm able to put into my hotbar in order to actually consistently come up with the cool spell combos that launch the spell that I prefer. But this build, even though he's a Runemaster, is actually about AoEs. This is the top tier Runemaster ability, the Glyph of Dominion. And so I swapped out my flashier Lightning Blast for that. Although I'm tempted to go back to it for a couple of different reasons, which I might explain in another episode. But combined with Frostwall and all the buffs that I have to the freezing modifiers, which gets burned into fire on top of that. So all the frost is converted to fire damage. And then this one item alone increases that fire damage by another 23%. And if I had over 300 max mana, it gets doubled on top of that. So I'll be eventually getting, you know, a bigger mana pool. These kind of items can just synergize in a way that makes the damage absolutely ridiculous. As you can see right now, like I'm back in the campaign from the Monolith. And I mean, I could literally close one eye and probably just not even look at the screen and just run around and fire off a couple abilities over and over, and I would not die and I'd kill everything. That's how much power these AoEs have. It just melts these guys. So there are plenty of ways to build characters, and this is just a couple of characters I'm running. The Sentinel with his pet, with the Manifest Armor, and this flashier Runemaster. You can't really probably make a bad build in this game if you pay attention to the modifiers on your items and you put together a usable combo on your hotbar. Now, obviously, the overall effect and power will be different. But that's the fun part. As you get used to the game, you'll get that much more powerful. So I would recommend not even looking at build guides for this game. You're just going to ruin your fun. Yeah, Bez, exactly. That's a part of fun. Finding great combinations. Also, isn't there a map system where you truly test the build? Yeah, I've been getting to the Monolith. Actually, we'll head back to that after I just check out this new area. And so I've been chinking away at the Monolith. And so that's one system. Then there's the dungeons, when you have to find keys to get into those. And those will test you more. And then there's also an endgame thing that I'm sure I haven't even scratched yet on top of all that. So plenty of ways to get tested. I guess this is a new friendly area. This is kind of cool. Hidden docks area. The burning pier.
Be well.
I cannot do that.
Oh, I can't smash those grates.
Greetings.
Saboteurs, they've been sneaking supply their damn bombs on the East Pier for God knows how long. We never had a chance. Any luck convincing them to let us use the damn river? I don't care how many Ospreys are swarming. I won't go back north. Not yet.
Safe travels.
All right, so they're hiding from the Ospreys here, I guess.
Deep Harbor has never been close with the other tribes. They're merchants and travelers, not warriors. But they're Heoborian all the same. Raye preys on this. He will pay for the dishonor.
We have a problem.
Julia
Reaching
again.
Thetima will prove more complicated than we thought. Raya's forces are here. It is too dangerous to take the river, but other routes will take weeks. Are you insane? You would be fighting alone.
Huh.
You did well with
Right.
the Wengari. Then, they're holed up in the pier. If you think you stand a chance, show no mercy.
It won't even be fair. All right. So back to, yeah, actually back where we just were. Let's go see what these are all about.
Farewell.
And then I'll head back to the Monoliths for a little while. There's good leveling in there. Good items.
Yes.
Barely holding them back. Why isn't Heorot answering our prayers? Well, he's no longer around, I think.
Don't lose your way.
My character's response. Leave it to me! You should all run. Run for your lives. What is this thing? Oh, some kind of a totem. Another one of these imprisoned mages. These guys can be a challenge. Pretty tanky. Honestly, I thought he would have died just then, but he survived another blink. Hey, Darwin. Happy Saturday. Yeah, Dune was good. I mean, if you're a book reader, you won't be as happy as if you're not a book reader, though. But that's normal, right? For anything they make into movies from books, they always manage to leave something out that the book readers love, so... But is it worth going to see? Absolutely. Just make sure you go see it in a decent theater with a decent sound system. Dodge rating, nice. Synergize with my belt if I use these. 95 endurance threshold if you've not been hit recently. +2 intelligence. These are actually pretty good. Those are actually decent. Because of, was it my belt or was it... There was something else that synergizes with the endurance. Maybe I took it off. Thought I had... I go through different stuff so much, I might have removed things around again. Anyway, good enough. Still happy with my gloves. The elemental. Yeah, this movie is not a movie you want to just watch on a television, is what I'm telling you. Definitely visually and audibly deserves to be seen in a theater. It's an actual movie on a grand scale for a change, instead of just like, oh look, it's another cookie cutter Marvel movie or whatever. It's definitely a tier above all that. I mean, you can wait and watch it on TV if you want. You know, just make sure it's a decent sized television with a good sound system like I have. But I'm glad I saw it in the theaters. I just would have preferred that they didn't leave out a couple of characters that I loved in the book. So, oh well, director made his choices, and that's the way they are. The invasion saboteur. Okay, I guess I killed him. Well, I mean, Dune is a great story, but will it be as good story-wise as the book? It won't ever be as good as the book. Because there's way more time to tell the very complex story of Dune in the first 3 books especially. So they do a very good job of what they're doing in the short, compressed time you get with movies. But, you know, as far as like the reason I'm saying go see it in a theater is because of the sheer scope and quality of the special effects. They're not overused. They're seamless. The visuals are great. Villeneuve is a great visual storyteller. You know, its sound is top tier. The sound engineers on the movie are excellent. So it's one of those movies that was made for theaters. That's all I'm saying. You can choose to not watch it. You'll enjoy it outside of a theater. It just won't be as fun. Yeah, I wish I could have seen it in an IMAX, but there's no IMAX near me, so I'm not in Austin anymore. And nothing in the campaign could even get my attention now. That's just kind of OP. And I held off of going into the Monolith until it basically pushed me into the Monolith. Well, if you haven't been to movies in 5 years, this would be one of the rare movies that I would suggest you go ahead and go. Especially, I mean, I don't know if you've read the books or not, but I would definitely, for anybody who hasn't read the books and just likes science fiction, I would definitely recommend they go see it. 'Cause they'll probably enjoy it without any doubt. It won't be as critical as I am. Oh, well, this is definitely on a par or bigger than Interstellar, for sure. But again, as is too often the case with modern movies, they inject modernity into things where it doesn't belong, and they try to appease political forces. It's not overt like so many things are out of Hollywood lately, but there's still changes there that did not need to be there and did not make sense from a narrative standpoint, especially for somebody who's really familiar with Dune. Now, it's been a lot of years since I've read the book, but some things you never forget. But, you know, most people, especially like I say, if they haven't read the books, won't even realize that anything is in there. And I won't even, I'm not going to talk about, I'll talk about some of that stuff later down the road when more people have seen the movie, and maybe I'll, you know, mention some of the things that I'm hinting at in specific, but for now it's like, I don't want to ruin anybody's experience. Well, I guess it would be a trilogy, but really, I mean, it stands on the two movies. The two movies are pretty much the first book. The first book stands on its own, but the second book is probably going to get made. So I have a feeling if the third one is successful, they'll probably make a fourth. But to be honest with you, I would prefer to see Delanu be put to use in like something like the 40K universe. If they could get him to just play nice and be apolitical and just stick to the damn source material and just go to town with creating and crafting the universe, which is what he does best. He'd be the perfect director, or one of the perfect directors to use for Warhammer 40K, with, you know, the plans that they have. So I'm going to be very curious to see who they manage to get as directors for that project for the movies. But I think he might be interested because, I mean, Warhammer 40K with its gothic science fiction lore, it's like rich, feature rich for somebody like him with his skill to actually bring to the screen and make it look amazing. But we will see. Oh, I don't care about GW, but everybody that's a 40K fan just wants to see the 40K universe crafted on the big screen, and eventually it's happening. It's definitely coming. So I don't want people injecting their ridiculous fantasies into their political fantasies into our entertainment. You know what I mean? Feminism is the plague of our time. And it shows up in everything, and it ruins movies. And because, see, deep in our psyche, especially as men, we sit there and we're watching this and we're going, this isn't believable. This isn't how the actual world works, and it isn't how the universe has worked, and it isn't how stories have been told. So when they keep in like that, like in what was it, an Endgame, you know, the Marvel moment, everybody cringed. It was so cringe. It was like, what are you doing? Like everything was good up until that point, and then it was like suddenly the whole movie just got brought down for about 10 minutes. And it was like, what is this? And then it went back up again to where it should have been the whole time. You know, those kind of moments in movies are what I'm talking about. We don't need that stuff in the movies. To just throw stuff in to try to send a message to people is cringe. Entertain me and keep the real world modern bullshit out of it. Oh yeah, it was just so cringe. even girls were like, okay, that was a bit much, you know. But we're gonna finally see less of that now that the pendulum is swinging the other way, especially in recent days with the outing of the commies and the weirdos that are involved in the gaming industry and have been. So now all the truth is out. The Sweet Baby debacle and all that stuff. I was actually tempted to make a reaction to a reaction video the other day, but I was like, no, don't go down that road, because then once I open that can of worms and people will piece together who I actually am, and then I'll be like, oh yeah.
Don't lose your way.
But yeah, I was watching Asmongold react to a Sweet Baby video, and I was like, man, if I reacted to this, it'd be pretty hilarious. But also, I'm just getting old and lazy. I don't want to even have to think that hard about politics anymore. I'm sick of politics. My problem is I'm old enough and wise enough to know that nothing's going to change in time to avert disaster, so I'm just waiting for the disaster. Sorry, but there's the black pill for the morning. Sorry, everybody.
I cannot do that.
All right, so now we're Deep Harbor. Speak with the ferryman.
I cannot do that.
Space King, yeah, I saw Space King. Hilarious.
Greetings.
A little gross, but still funny. Oh yeah, the uncensored. I haven't seen the uncensored version. I can imagine.
Safe travels.
I literally sleepwalked through that last map. I don't even know. I was just like, my build is so powerful now. It's like I was just reading the chat. Harbard the Ferryman. More survivors came out, and they're all talking about what you've done. I don't know how you did it, but I am a man of my word. You know when you're ready, and we'll head west. We're ready. So what is this?
Don't lose your way.
Where's this taking me? The Uncensored's on Patreon, I think. I think it's behind a paywall, isn't it? Pretty sure it's behind a paywall.
Grail and I spoke, and it seems wise to separate here. We will reunite in Thetamer. I'll ensure other towns are evacuated. Grail will investigate rumors of Raya enlisting mercenaries. You should look for Architect Liath in her tower. She may prove a useful ally. You don't know? She's Lagon's highest servant, gifted with a portion of his power. Liath represents the connection between Lagon and his people. She answers for him, ever since Lagon's grown unpredictable.
The
Okay.
lake is evacuated. It means we won't see more carnage. There were rumors that there were mercenaries not far from here, killing fellow men due to the will of a god. It's not right.
My build right now?
Killing for coins. Unbelievable.
Well, Runemaster, but my particular build is built around my AoEs. Predominantly Frostwall and Glyph of Dominion. And I just enhance those with freeze multipliers. And I keep my resist reasonably high. I've got a pretty good resist set going on. And there's enhanced by a ring I just found too. So when I'm channeling, or what is it? No, it's this relic. So when I channel, it's plus 7% additional to all those resists. My elemental damage is converted to fire for the frost wall. And my fire is boosted at least by one of these items. I think, yeah, this one, 91% increased fire damage. This has a 112% increased spell critical strike chance. So my crit chances are way up now on my spells. You can see my lightning damage is 142, cold damage 144, fire damage 263%. Every time I drop that firewall, it just evaporates things. Anything standing next to my firewall is dead. Damage immune enemies. So far, not really. I don't run into much stuff that can hold up. And if I do run anything that stands up to the fire, my lightning damage is so intense that I just fry them with the lightning. So, and then of course I can still cast cold because of my rune bolt, because it cycles. So I'm using all three elements. My lightning also comes off the flame ward because it's transmuted to lightning. So if I get in trouble, I just pop the flame ward. I'm constantly trying to enhance my mana pool, my cooldowns, lower my cooldowns and everything. I mean, I'm good enough at these as ARPGs that if I'm paying attention, I'm probably going to roll stuff anyway. But now he's just so ridiculously overpowered. Ever since I hit about 55, I sensed that, okay, now, because, I mean, I haven't died. I was playing yesterday off stream. I didn't die once in the Monoliths, and I went through about 4 or 5 maps. So, and I think I've only died on this character, what, a half dozen times at most during the whole campaign.
Can I help you?
Probably less than a half dozen. Maybe not even. Maybe 3 times. I don't know. Anyway. The ward is overpowered. Any ward in this game, you can if you can actually work on things to make the ward regenerate. And I've even seen, like, I was watching, what is it? Campaign. Watching his video on his channel the other day, and he talked about the ward, and so we both came to the same conclusion separately. So it is definitely OP, and he's got some build where he can scale up his freaking ward to like 30,000, which is insane. So he's got some Beastmaster build that's absolutely off the charts. So he admits it's broken and they need to balance it, but it's, you know, it uses crows, storm crows or something. in conjunction with the ward, and he's unkillable and evaporates everything pretty much with just a few clicks. So wait a minute, where am I headed here? Oh, I think it wants me to... take a look around real quick. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought this was a safe area. I guess it isn't. I mean, it's just me just tossing Rune Bolt. I'm not even casting my runic invocations. I just go to the invocations when anything irritates me. It's like like him. And I also have a couple items that proc stuff. I have some items that I'm considering using to change my build, actually. I might go back to Lightning Blast, just for fun. Because some item I found actually has a very specific proc in the tree that's actually fairly rare. That gives me like immunity on a percentage chance. I think like 20%. It gives me 80% immunity when it procs, and that's per blast. So I would probably be immune like 50% of the time, just running around casting Lightning Blast and just frying everything. That seems like it would be crazy OP, so I'm tempted to respec to it just to see what it'd be like. Plus I like the Lightning Blast anyway. I mean, the glyph, this is cool. But is it as fun? Not really. Oh, I also have increased the area of these things, so like this sucker is actually pretty big. And it powers me up when it goes off. See, it gives me that aura. He just melted, you know. And look at the damage from the firewall. I mean, it just. I mean, I could just use. I'll just use the firewall for a little while just to show you. And these guys have fire resistance. You can literally hover over them. It says resist fire damage. And they're still melting. That's how much damage my wall does. I'll use light ammo. Yeah, it's definitely overpowered now. I'm thinking about doing a pure melee build with a class, because I think that would be a challenging, fun way to play. Like where I don't even rely on spells at all. Just basically passives. I think I can make it work. Something actually damaged me, so I just hit my ward. Thought I saw an item for some reason. I guess it was a totem something broke. Getting a ton of shard this run. So this is nice. 46% increased elemental damage to peel off of that. I may run a solo. I think I'm running my druid on the solo and not on multiplayer. I want to also do like a werebear build. Just for kind of like an homage to my old Warhammer character. Not Warhammer, Warcraft. Trying to take me here. This way, I think. Be playing Elden Ring later today, and then maybe Dungeons and Dragons session just to get together with my old 80s group. Possibly happen around 7 o'clock Eastern, but we will see. I don't have 100% verification of that yet. We got some logistical stuff to take care of, but we're definitely going to be playing again. Reunited. After 35, 40 years. Ooh, top tier minion. Did I leave any gold over here? Yes. A 9 gold please item? Pathetic. Big crap. Alright. We'll go through here, and then I'm going to go back to the Monolith system for a little while. Did I pick up a portal for that? I did. Let's see. Gotta save the boys there. Alright, this is what I was looking for. Alright. The game is a little confusing with all the different areas to pop around to, I will say. I think that's one of the negatives I have with the game, is just navigating things on the map is a little awkward, but it's not a big complaint. I think this is where I need to be. I don't know. Probably should just look at my quest list. Shortcuts. Yeah, this isn't it either. Trouble is, it doesn't always show you there. I guess it's based on... There we go. End of time. All right. This is it. And the whole storyline is so convoluted. It's also another thing where I kind of don't pay attention to it, really. So I'm just like, just get on with it, you know? All the materials I grabbed. I got the minion spell and melee damage shards. That's what I was after there. What is this crap I picked up by accident? Oh, it's got max throwing damage. I don't care about throwing damage. I'll probably never use a throwing weapon. I just find it kind of cheese. I don't like to spam stuff very much. I like to fire off different abilities. Unless it's melee and direct face-to-face fighting, then I guess I'm probably more apt to do that for some reason. This feels more interesting and more natural. Buy some shatterings again. I want this elemental resistance. Didn't get that, but got the elemental Nova shards, so that works. Tier 5 spell critical chance. Got it. Just sell these. Yeah.
Take care. Take care.
All right. Do I gain any points in anything? No. All right, let's do some monoliths for a little bit, and then I'm probably gonna call the episode in, I don't know, half an hour or so. Because I gotta take a little break for lunch, and then I'm coming back with Elden Ring, and the pain and the suffering will continue. But people seem to like hearing me suffer, so content is content, baby. There's some gold here to be had. Let's go ahead and jump on that. I want to get to the gold. The experience tomes seem to be trash. I don't know why they're even in the game. They barely move the experience bar, but it's one of the common rewards. And then some of the rewards I'm not even interested in, like daggers and things. Like, why would I even want those? Ooh. Shattering Ice Scepter of Static. So, as I'm learning, so these Exalteds, these are the things that are used to actually create legendary items. So the purples, you got to keep your eyes open, because if you get to the Eternity Cache, which I guess is something I haven't seen yet, you can actually deliberately craft legendaries. The Eternity Cache is located within the Temporal Sanctum dungeon. Yeah, so I don't even have access to this yet. But running higher tiers of the dungeon will allow you to create legendaries out of higher level uniques. Legendary item is the same as a unique item with affixes added to it from the exalted item. The number of affixes selected is equal to the legendary potential of the unique item. Ah, so that's a big deal. I have a few items in the stash with legendary potential, at least a couple. But I don't think any of them are actually usable or preferably used by my current classes. I think they're mainly like necro stuff, but anyway, I mean, the game has an almost limitless way to customize. I think that'll become more interesting as they release new content. I'm sure they have got big plans, because their success with the game has got to eclipse anything they could have possibly dreamed of. So I know they already are hiring more developers. Another purple. Ooh. I have a few shards. What is this? Necrotic penetration. Another necro related. Ain't leaving that on the ground. You thought you were going to get that swing off. It's a dagger, small enough to tuck away and sell later. Still not gaining the XP very fast at this point. Where do I need to be? Pretty much I hit all the shrines. Always hoping for like a gold shrine or something. Or something like that. Echo conquered. No shatterings. Not wanting for shards though, that is for sure.
Fools. Fools.
Whoop. Cast that portal. Hands moved on the keyboard. High dodge rating. You're gonna name your conversion after me? Well, that's awesome. I think. Tier 5 on that little 1 FX blue. You play Battle Brothers? That's a hard game, man. Battle Brothers. I should stream that someday again. I streamed it, I think, before I started putting videos on YouTube. Another one that's similar to Battle Brothers, but even more difficult in many ways is, what's it? Stoneboard, I think it's called. Or Stone Shard. Stone Shard. One or the other. But if you like Battle Brothers, you should check out Stone Shard. It's a little pixelated, vicious little fantasy strategy tactics game. Roguelike. Yeah, I like the games that offer a lot of replayability due to the just general construct of what you're putting together with groups and squads. I love that kind of stuff. I guess that goes back to like Jagged Alliance days and XCOM. But some of these games with their roguelike element, they're just so hard, man. It's like, whew, it gets a little frustrating. They overdo it a little bit. Like, I think Stone Shard didn't even have... When I played it, I don't think there was even a save game. Like a quick save, at least. I think they've got some kind of save in it now. I hope I'm getting that name right, but it's been a while since I played it. I saw somebody playing it the other day. I was shocked that they were playing it. And they were getting their butts handed over and over, and I was like, oh, where are they? Oh, they're just in the very beginning. I was like, oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, there's an XCOM 40K project? I didn't know that. Are you talking about the new XCOM? I've seen some 40K mods for it, but I haven't really... That's another game I need to revisit is XCOM 2. I barely scratched it because I didn't like the timers. I've talked about this briefly before on stream. So I'll go back to play XCOM 2 one of these days, but I'm going to mod it to take out all the timers because that's not how I feel XCOM should be played. So, because I'm old school. I played since the beginning. I'm all about the tactics. I don't want to have somebody like dictating like my gameplay by rushing me. It's like, well, what the hell? That's not fun. That's not why I play XCOM. And I was gratified to see that I wasn't the only one irritated by it, so the modders put it some fixes, so-called. So definitely, if there's 40K content, I'll be playing around with that at some point. Oh, what's this? Tier 5 dot. killing anything in here just to increase the bonus stability bar. Which is, I guess, some kind of a factor in the quality, the difficulty of these monoliths, but I don't exactly know why. Oh, it's an old X. That's what I was hoping it would be. So it is an old one. Oh, you played that City of Heroes? Yeah. Unfortunately, when I lost my hard drive recently, I lost that install, but I'll put it back one of these days. I never played the villains thing. I know my guildmates played that back in the day. I'm sure they're gonna put, I would imagine they got plans to put that stuff into the game again, but I don't know. It'd be silly not to, wouldn't it? +3 to Shatter Strike. What is this? Purple mage armor. Hold on. I'm picking up stuff, not even paying attention. 77% chance to apply frostbite on hit with cold skills. +3 to Shatter Strike. 114% increased cold damage. Well, I don't have direct cold damage very often, but it still would help out on my rune bolts. I could always spec stuff to cold if I wanted to, but not really. What is Shatter Strike? What the hell is Shatter Strike? Here it is. Oh, it's Spellblade. I had a feeling. Oh, okay, this is Spellblade armor. Still, tuck it away. Am I looking for a specific? I don't know enough about the legendaries to know. I don't look at information online, so whatever drops. So no, I don't have any specific legendary plans. I mean, right now, I could run around in crap gear right now and just destroy, so legendaries will just be icing when I find them. I'm just playing organically, and it's typically my play style. In a game like this, anyway. In a game like Darktide, I went and looked up some builds to just make shortcuts. Because there's obviously a very limited meta. And I just wanted some quick and dirty builds to play with, to start out with. But this game, you can't really go wrong with builds too easily, and if you do, you can easily respec. It's not as punishing as Exiled. I'm just literally toying around like a cat with all this stuff. We still haven't maxed out the stability. Whoa. See, my ward is substantial enough that I can take hits pretty easily. not get into deep trouble anymore. My resistances are high enough I don't get insta-gibbed by anybody. I mean, it could still happen if I'm super sloppy. I think they intend to put in some higher level difficulty bosses in an expansion soon. Those guys are kind of tough, those sculptors. There's another thing. Now these guys are actually tougher than just about anything at these higher levels in the that I've fought so far. Is these mages when you encounter them in the Monolith. So you gotta watch out. But it's really about being mobile. You're dead. I actually used my my invocations for a change. Plus 54 endurance threshold if you have not been hit recently. See, these are good. I don't get hit very often, so something like that would be excellent. Peel off if I could, but I don't think you can on those, or maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't tried to actually peel stuff off the experimentals. All right, so we maxed out the bonus ability, and now we'll just get out of here. Get our rewards. What did we get? Tomes? Yeah, so let's watch. So there's my XP bar. Total XP, so 587. Now how much? Yeah, so you can barely see it move. Yeah, it's not much at all. I guess it's better than nothing, right? Okay. No shatterings. Yeah, pretty much every video that I watched prior to playing would mention the Runemaster, so I knew I was going to play it. Because, I mean, I was, you know, back in the old days, I was a sorcerer. In the original Diablo. What did I play in Diablo 2? A barbarian? And I didn't play Diablo 2 more than just like one playthrough. Something else drew me away at the time. I forget what it was, but it was probably, yeah, I was more involved with gaming guilds and PvP guilds at that point, so we would bounce from game to game pretty quickly. I would like to probably play the remake of Diablo 2 at some point, but I just don't like to give Blizzard my money. But most of this stuff I'm just going to pick up to sell. And it's right here. Including stuff that I might have filtered out.
I am not a man of many pockets.
All right.
Yes.
We check these things for top tier. So this has got a tier 5. So if I see something with a tier 5, I'm more apt to keep it. Otherwise, or if it's experimental, I'll keep it, of course. Purples, we'll definitely keep, because those are the only place you can get a tier 6 or tier 7. And could be used to craft a legendary at some point for another character. Here's tier 5. Tier 4. I mean, honestly, I'm getting to the point now where if it's not tier 5, I probably won't even keep it. Tier 5. Sell. Sell. Here's a purple. Sell. Dodge rating. Dot. Sell. We're gonna obviously keep this. Sell. Sell. I'm just glad to be a point in the game where I can sell stuff more readily than like try to be a hoarder anymore. Because that just gets no fun. Melee lightning damage. So this is the kind of stuff like I was talking about. If I make that pure melee build, I would be relying on these abilities. The melee spell abilities would be part of a build for sure. So I want to keep that.
Take care.
And then we'll go through this one. Everything's fairly low. Get rid of it. Replace it with this. Some of this stuff I keep for just aesthetics because they're different looking weapons. Because I'm a nerd. This is too low, so get rid of that. As for this.
Yes.
I got room in my armor now because I have the shield tab. Thank the gods. I'll probably just dump this in here and these because I don't have any damn space anymore for gloves because you get tons of gloves in this game for whatever reason. Another one I'll just dump in here. Actually, I could put it in the uniques tab because I tend to put my experimentals over there for now. I'm just talking out loud on this just to give you guys an idea. If you haven't had to deal with this, maybe you get some shortcuts for your own run through. My rings and amulets is completely filled, so I just put them like usually you'll have a area on the bottom of many of your tabs you can drop small items into, like these belts and the one-handers. We'll look through for some trash to get rid of, like this. This.
Yes.
So I'm getting a lot faster at dealing with the equipment. All right, so now find the entrance, conquer the fall, the outcast timelines, quest echoes. It's not showing me those quest echoes until I'm actually in. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you got to click on that. There's so many layers to this kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about. This is where the game is confusing because there's so many layers to all this stuff. It's like, well, how do I access this damn part of it? Oh yeah, click this, click that. For somebody with ADD especially, it's just like, it's hard to pay attention to all of it. What was I after? Oh, I was after this gold. All right, so we're definitely going to go here. There'll be a lot of gold dropping. Beat all 14 waves of enemies. Oh. There, bring it.
Fools!
60. 6-0.
Fools! Fools!
That's it. Astrolabe, Catalyst, 126 increased spell critical strike chance, 10% increased minion damage. Interesting. 10 intelligence, 22 mana spent gained as ward, 15% increased mana regen, 143% freeze rate multiplier. I mean, that's damn good. Wow, that is. That's really good. That's actually better than what I'm using. Even though it's got that minion damage on it. Didn't even have to quaff a pot. Worth 106, we'll sell that. Oop, what's this? A mage large idol. 13% chance to ignite on hit, 22% cold resistance. Eh. It's okay. Not really worth it for the slots. I still have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 idle slots left to open where I can really maximize any of that. I could probably just take all this trash that's on the ground. Surprisingly, small little zone. How much money did I actually even get out of that? Not really a whole lot. Hopefully the reward will be gold. I think it is. Oh, here's a whole bunch of stuff just sitting on the ground. Oh, there's a little ally. I wish they'd change it up too. I don't know why they make it so it's always one of these beetles. It'd be a lot more interesting if it was a variety of different things. Seems like that'd be pretty easy to do. Alright, well, open portal. We're out of here. Let's get our reward. Yep, gold. Okay, that is fairly substantial. So that was like 7,000 gold. Not bad. What? That's it? Okay, that was poop.
Yes?
Tier 5 dexterity. Rogue body armor. The alt button is your friend when you're doing this. Keeping this one though. And this, of course, we're gonna break this one down. Actually, I might as well just buy shatterings. I don't almost never even look at what she's got available. Probably should start once in a while. But really considering, I mean, all this stuff is usually not going to ever be purple. At least I've never seen anything. It's probably never going to be something I really want. Unless it has specific effects. Oops. Break this down. Yep, plus 5 dexterity shards. Nice. So look at crafting, dex. 35 dexterity shards. So I mean, if you consistently do what I'm doing here, you'll never run out of shards. Unless they're super rare ones. Getting quite a collection here. Actually, let's get this out of here. Let's make it all... Well, not almost completely all idols yet, but closer. These are some really nice ones here. I just don't have room to throw in. This is the one I was talking about. So I was like, what is Lightning Aegis? So 85% of damage reflected while you have Lightning Aegis. And plus 8% chance to gain Lightning Aegis when hit. All from the same idol. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So obviously it has to be lightning related. So indeed it is. If you go to Lightning Blast and you put in Aegis... There's this ability right here, Lightning Attunement. When you cast Lightning Blast, you have a chance to be granted Lightning Aegis, which grants 50% increased lightning damage and 25% less damage taken. Lightning Aegis causes an explosion of lightning damage when you lose 25% of your health or after 10 seconds. Then the points you put in, you get 2 points into this, each point giving you 5% greater chance to get the Lightning Aegis to proc. So with 2 points into this, plus this item, this relatively rare item that I was just looking at, 18% chance for that sucker to proc. And every time that thing procs, I have 85% damage reflected. That's crazy. Especially when you consider how fast you can cast lightning, especially, you know, considering items that you can get to recast faster. This could make you just unkillable. So I'm thinking of speccing into it, of course. And just ditching the Glyph of Dominion. Although it does really work pretty well, but it's not really my main. I don't really find it to be that fun to use. Or maybe I could run it on a sorcerer or something, a pure lightning mage or something. That's another thing I like to do in games is just come up with a theme. Whether it's good or bad doesn't matter. If you stick to the theme, that's where the fun is. I kind of like to do stuff like that. And sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you'll envision something you want to create, and then it turns out to be better than you ever expected. Let's see. It's 12:35. We've been on for almost 2 hours. I think we'll go in one more time. Actually, I've got a level here. 60th level. Rune word buff. Spell damage. +1 per point. You deal more spell damage to branded bosses. I have the branding, right? Yeah, so we should definitely put a point to this. And I don't have anything in my specializations. I wonder if what if I max these out or something? I doubt it, but it must be harder to level. Oh, let's I want to sell this stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Take care.
This is a wink link. Get rid of this. Replace it with this.
Yes. Take care.
Increased item rarity 8%. Tomes of experience. Tomes of experience. Echo information. Charge the beacon in this echo to reveal echoes in a large area around it. Oh, wow, okay. That is cool. So as you get deeper in, more appear and then you have more options. So I guess just greater and greater opportunities for bigger rewards. There's also this stuff, which is like these quest echoes. Oh, but that's a much bigger deep dive, so not for right now. We probably won't be able to finish this in time if I start it right now. Need to take a break. Let's just jump in here. Waves of enemies again.
Fools. Fools.
I have to watch out for these buggers right here are dangerous. Those eyes. Yeah, see? I'll use the bridge to my advantage. Oh! Oh, this is one of the harder ones. conquered. That was crazy. That was a little scary. Almost died a couple times there. We maxed the stability just by fighting it out, too. I didn't have to worry about that. Bones. Okay. We got like, I don't know, a third of a bar. The shards. And some trash.
Yes?
Parry chance. Melee attack speed. It's almost like the game was hearing me talk about a melee build. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't get rid of that. Very chance. One off that. Kind of suck. 4 melee attack speed shards. That's better. It's completely random RNG when you do this. I'm still not even into this blessings part of the game, so. Still quite a lot left to toy with. See, this is the thing, if I could get the runic invocation cooldown down to, like, say, 3 seconds, it'd be more fun to use. I find myself trying to click on it, and then often it's just on cooldown, so it's like, okay. That's why I guess that's probably why instinctively I started to not rely on it as much. And I went for these big area effect, you know, abilities. Because they're pretty easy to build up with the right synergy from items to just spectacular levels. I mean, you get stuff like this freeze rate multiplier at 515%. I mean, things get crazy. Like, let's see. So my freeze rate multiplier is 925%. And that synergizes with other stuff inside the trees. Let's see. When you directly use a lightning skill, you have a chance to gain Runeward Hurricane, a buff that grants additional lightning damage and freeze rate multiplier. Could even get worse if I did something like this. Put points into just the regular mage. See, but all this freeze rate on mine for the wall turns into fire. Well, it's actually a fire burning multiplier. So it actually ends up being that spell. And that's part of the reason everything gets incinerated so quickly. Fun. If I actually sat down with a spreadsheet and tried to work things out even more and min-maxed or something like an autist, probably be that much more dangerous. But we got time for that. Not me. I'm going to make some lunch. I'll be back after lunch with Elden Ring. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Darmond and Bez and all you lurkers. And I will see you again today for sure. Like I say, possibly some Dungeons and Dragons get together tonight around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And if not, maybe next week. We couldn't do it on Sunday because of conflicts. In fact, I think one of the conflicts for one of our guys is he's going to see Dune Part 2. I think that's why that happened. So anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you very soon.